Good morning, good morning. It is March 9th, Tuesday. It's about 4:30 in the morning. Doing this about an hour earlier. A lot of stuff's moving already this morning, so I thought I'd make it sooner rather than later, as I haven't got my streaming stuff set up yet to be able to stream. So let's jump into it. Futures gapped up. We'll look at that last. Same with Bitcoin, but GameStop pushed higher in pre-market, big gap up. So yesterday into that close, I didn't even make that GameStop video, so I might as well talk about it. So held the 150 level in the morning, which I talked about earlier in other previous videos. That there's a volume shelf here around 150 to 1 and lower, and then a gap basically to 186. So we pushed that quickly in the morning, pushing out to 195, 196. Pulled back down to 175, come retest the moving averages, and then pushed back through 200. The high from 2 weeks ago was right at 200, and that's where we sat at. First, I believe it was this candle here. We sat there for a little bit, and then once that broke, shot up higher, and then pulled back. And later in the afternoon, got a big hammer bar right here. So buyers came in, noticed the volume on the candle is completely green. Buyers came in, pushed higher throughout the rest of the day. And then a small sell-off after hours, consolidating, and then futures gapped up overnight, and this thing exploded, right? So went from 195 all up to 238, and now profit taking's happening again. So one thing to watch is you typically, when you do get the big gap up in a run, pre-market before 4 a.m. So so the peak here was at 150. So that's what, 450 on the East Coast, so well before market opens, and just even when most people are able to trade at 4 a.m., they usually sell off. So that's kind of a typical play, is they'll sell off. So what we'll really need to look to happen here as pre-market continue is for the price to find support and then be able to go retest that 238 level. But if we look just at the daily where we're at volume wise, so we're between this 61 and 50 fib right now. I think we're right sitting on the 61 fib as the price is dropping, but volume gap below, right where we're at. A little support from where we touched yesterday, and then volume above from the bars when it made its previous run. So we'll look to see if it finds support. I might pull back to the 186 level again just to retest that and then push higher. And with GameStop moving, AMC also pushed higher. So we'll go to the 5-minute. So chart's pretty similar to GameStop's, right? More of a coiling base right up the open, because it's bounced off the 50 EMA for the 5-minute. Pushed to 8.9. 8.9 has been level that's actually has support resistance in the last couple of weeks. Tried it first time, fail, pull back to moving averages, start ramping up, try it again. We bust through it, get up to 9.5. Pulls back when GameStop pulls back. Finds support 8.75, 8.7 area. Tries 9.4 again, can't get through it. So essentially double top, but then we just consolidate the rest of the day. Then another top here after hours, but then we pull back in the after hours back to that 8.9 level, and we did it during the hours too at 11, where it held that support. And once so typical technical analysis, right? So if something's acting as support or resistance, you break through it, it comes back to it, acts as support, and we did that after hours. So I was at practice for football for this, but this would have been a great entry after hours on some size for a move overnight, and that's what happened. So moved higher just like GameStop, but more consolidating here around the highs in the 962s. Now we pulled back to 9.3, but we're sitting in the 9.4s right now. So just 5-minute chart, right? So it's not going to show a ton of the volume because it's just this period. But if we go out to the daily and the volume here, so again we do have a void of volume above us from basically above that 9.5, 9.6 level, all the way to 11.75, so $2 where there's not a ton of volume at. So we could look to go press higher on a move. We can find some support here pre-market, right? And then if you're just looking for the highs above, I think if we get through this, we got 977, 983. So that's obviously going to be the first level we need to break through today. But if we push through that, we can quickly hit this 10.1, and then the only thing above there is 11. So if we get some volume to pour in, some positive momentum where the market's up, this thing could take off to 11 pretty quickly, and then we'll have to fight through that volume above to keep going higher. So obviously these are going to be the huge plays on watch today. Just the Reddit stock's back. I mean, people were talking about Warren Kitties, how much his shares have cost again. So the media attention is back to it. The hype circus is back, and we'll see if we'll go to the moon. But one that is going to the moon is Eyes from yesterday. Talked about it in the pre-market and post-market video. So see two big green candles, back-to-back days, high volume, incredibly high volume. Lower volume relative to that day on Friday, but huge move aftermarket, or I should say pre-market. Aftermarket basically consolidated. So we got the little push after hours right at the close, and then we just consolidated higher. We're expecting this 50 EMA on the 5-minute, and then here in the morning just stair-stepped it up. 3 a.m. hit 26.3, and now profit taking's happening. So look to see if it finds some support here, or just as a continuous fade until the market open. No news came out on it, but still just up on its FDA approval of its Argus 2 prosthesis system for, I believe it's retina replacement. But monster move. And if you just look at here, fibs, just kind of shows you the power of the fibs again. So this 0.0 is at the low for, as a massive zoom in, geez, was just basically this move on Friday. So the low 207 to this 989. I don't know why I put it over here when I made it on the daily, but right. So this 0 to 100 is only the move from Friday. So you basically ticked right at that 161.8, and then now up in here you can say went through that 261.8. So it kind of did, project the move, or at least could have gave you targets for where the stock was going as the momentum built up. So other stuff's moving today as well. Bitcoin is up, so we'll look at Bitcoin. It moved up to the 54K level. Right now we're poked back down to 53.9, but it's going to follow it's following the futures, for the stock market almost perfectly right now. Very, very, very correlated. So your crypto plays are back. SOS can, they've been smacked the last couple days, especially I think Friday and yesterday they're down 20% both days. So look to see if they bounce, following the market higher. And then your other typical plays, like cost was up, not as a huge amount as AMC or GameStop, and then some other Socket, your Lizzie's, names that have been moving the past couple weeks are back in play. But we'll go one more just back to the futures to look at one thing. But so here futures, where we closed yesterday down here 38.20, kind of been just slowly moving up, coiling up, aftermarket and pre-market here in the morning. But so right now we're sitting at, so this 38.54 basically equates to 385 for the S&P ETF. So if you look at the S&P ETF right now, 385. If we zoom out, right, so I still think we need to get above this long-term, or it's not longer-term, resistance line that's connected from tops. But I still think we need to get through this 388 level to get bullish again in the market. Otherwise, this could just be a choppiness for the market going forward this week. So that's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys have a great day trading, make some money. If you would like anything from me, I need to make a video videos in the evening. I still got to figure out what's going on, like with the algorithm type stuff. But if you'd like to see something, please let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you. Thank you, and have a good one.